Hi everybody, this is Scott Weingivitz from Imagely. A lot of photographers are concerned about, editing their website, making changes to a live website, and I totally get it. And there's something called a local instance, or basically like a development server, which basically resides on your computer. And you probably don't know this exists, and you probably don't know that you can take advantage of it. And there's multiple softwares, multiple solutions, multiple apps that can, basically give you the interface to work with that. One is called MAMP, and MAMP was probably one of the first visual tools to really bring this development type thing to really anybody to be able to use it. But MAMP is not extremely easy. MAMP, you can set up WordPress on it and have it on your Mac or your Windows machine, and run a local instance. Basically, have a test site or development site of your live site. You can basically replicate it, but it's still a process to set it up. It's not extremely simple. I recently came across Pressmatic, and I wound up switching from MAMP Pro, the paid version of MAMP, because there's a free one too. I switched from MAMP to Pressmatic because of how easy it is to use and how quick it is for me to set up a new test site at any time. Now, I use this a lot at Imagely because we're constantly testing, new plugins, new themes and whatnot, and I want to make sure I have fresh instances. But I'm also using this as a clone of my live site to be able to test changes offline before I make them on the live site. And Pressmatic right now is only for Mac. There is a Windows version in the works, but you can, sign up to be notified. And basically, it allows you to create really nearly instant, it takes like 30 seconds to set up WordPress sites on your own computer that you can work with offline, even if you have no internet. Not only that, but you can test it with HTTPS. You can also test it with new versions of PHP. Now, if your host sends out an email saying, we're upgrading from PHP 5.6 to PHP 7, make sure that your themes and plugins work. Well, how are you supposed to do that, right? So with Pressmatic, you can easily test that. And I'll show you. So Pressmatic is not free. It is a paid application for your computer, but it does so much. It has a tool called Mailcatcher, which basically allows you to monitor emails in and out of your test site to make sure things are working, like a contact form plugin or something like that. And it has something called tunneling, which basically means from my computer I can say that I want to be able to access from my mobile phone and make sure that my site is working nice on a mobile device as well, without me launching this site live. So tunneling allows you to give you this private URL that's temporary, and basically allows you to access your desktop machine from your laptop, your development server. So Pressmatic, again, it's not free. It is a paid plugin. Right now it's $99, but it is fantastic. And like I said, a Windows version's in the works. But let me show you Pressmatic. Okay, so here is the app, right? I've got a bunch of different sites in here right now. I add them, I delete them, I customize them on the go. But let me first show you how to add a site. I'm going to hit add a site, and I'm going to give it a site name. I'm going to say Pressmatic Demo, and you can see it's creating the site name. It's creating a site domain. So if in the browser, I would just go to pressmatic-demo.dev, and it'll launch the site. And then there's a site path, and this is actually where the files are stored, where the WordPress files, where the database is stored, where the themes and plugins and everything is all stored. Then there's something called template. Now you can see I have one here. This is called Imagely Demos. Basically, in Pressmatic, you can create templates, meaning I can create a site and then save that site as a template saying, okay, I want to launch a new site using the same exact configuration that's here. So for example, if I want to do new Imagely Demo, right? So I'm testing a new theme that we're working on. I can say Imagely Demo. It'll launch all the files and configurations I need for a demo site, and all I have to do is drop in the new theme, and I can test it from there. Then under here, there's also environment. So here you can see different PHP versions, and you can switch this at any time when the site's actually live on your server, or really tested on your server. And then here is the different types of server. So if you know that your server is Apache, which is probably the most common, then you can choose Apache. Or if you want to try an Nginx, you can as well. And then here are your WordPress credentials. So you can actually say, I want it to be multi-site, yes or no. I want my admin to be this, my password to be this, and my email address. Okay. Now, if you choose a template, you cannot adjust what's below because you're using the template. But if you're not using a template, you can, specify. So I'm going to hit next, and OK. And now it's going to add the site. It's going to ask for permission. If it's the first time using Pressmatic for that day, it's going to ask for admin permission from your computer. You have to give it the approval, and then there you go. And then the site's done. That's how long it took. What was that, 10 seconds? So now I can hit admin right here. It's going to bring me to that test site. So you can see here, let me close that so it's a lot easier to see. Pressmatic-demo.dev, and I can just log in. And now I'm logged in, right? That was it. It was that easy. And now I can literally go in here and I can be offline, not on the internet, and still work with WordPress. I can go in and I can drop in my theme. I can drop in my plugins. If I have a backup and I want to import my backup from my live site, I can do that here. And so I have a clone and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to, and let me show you something real quick. If I want to take that site I just created right here, Pressmatic Demo, and I want to change it from PHP 7 to PHP 2, I can do so, hit change version. It's going to confirm it. It's going to readjust the PHP server for that one instance, and it's done. And now if I refresh the front end or the back end of my site, it doesn't look any different. It's just running PHP 5.2 instead of PHP 7. And again, I can go to the front end of the site. Everything's going to load normal. It's just locally. It's not live on the internet. So this is a great way for you to test any changes to your site. You want to test a plugin update, you want to test a theme change, you want to test a new plugin, you want to test CSS change, anything you want to test, you can do that locally. And if you're scared, try Pressmatic because it's so easy to set up the site. And if you want to delete the site if you're just done or you just don't need it anymore, you can just right click and hit delete. And now it's going to delete that site. It's going to move it to my recycle bin. And once it's gone, if I was to now go back here and refresh, it's going to just give me like a 404 error because it's not going to exist. There's nothing there. As you can see, my browser's trying to connect, and there's nothing to connect because that instance no longer exists. So check out Pressmatic. Let me go back to the Pressmatic website so you can see. Okay, so here we're back on the Pressmatic website. It is $99 right now at the time of recording this video. It can go up at any time. My guess is it won't go up until the Windows version is out, so make sure you hop on it soon. But I love this thing. You can do a lot more than what I just showed. But the point is, it's very easy for you to test things locally, and that's really important. If you don't have a staging site available to you on your host, then, this is the way to do it. So and so easy that any photographer can do this because there's no fussing around with code in order to install WordPress on your own computer offline. So very easy. Check out Pressmatic. If you have any questions, let me know.